Nature would have us on our all fours, so the moment you're standing up, the deep muscles in your back are working all day. And once you've got back pain, people with back pain will tell you that then they start to realise just what their back is doing for them.
And there's so many different causes of back pain.
There are. As Garry says, you know, the most common thing is a mechanical thing. It's a strain or whatever, that maybe it's caused by excess weight, I'm afraid, people being very overweight and carrying more weight, so that puts strain on your back. Sometimes it's poor posture. People who are just standing badly and putting a strain on their back.
It's making me want to sit up.
Yeah, I know, we're all thinking about it. Pregnancy is a common one, and that's because actually the hormones that are circulating in pregnancy help to relax ligaments for very obvious reasons. We need to be able to get the baby out, so everything needs to stretch. But that can mean that you're more prone to back pain, the ligaments are strained. And lifting badly. People often lift badly. And we all tend to do it. You bend over and pick up rather than picking things up with a straight back. So, very common problem.
So let's talk about the mechanical back pain. How can you treat that? What do you do?
Well, there's various causes, and I think one of the main causes is when people are seated. A lot of people are behind desks for 8 hours of the day, and if you're not in the correct position, they can throw the spine into the incorrect position, which then compromises the nerves that come out from the spine, and then that causes pain. There's a few ways that you can do it.
Well, there are chairs that are incredibly expensive, aren't they?
Yes, they are. The basic principle behind the chair is you're trying to get the pelvis slightly higher than the knees.
Oh, right, OK. So your sort of thighs should be sloping down a little bit?
Yes. And sometimes when you see kids on their front legs of their chair, that's actually doing exactly the same.
Well, let's get our model in and
you can demonstrate how this will work.
Sure.
Hello.
So, one of the things...
Have a seat, Linda.
Well, in fact, before Linda sits down, Linda, can I just show you this here is it's a foam wedge, and that's very, very inexpensive, and you just place that onto the chair, and then when you sit on it, it throws the pelvis slightly higher than the knees. Then what you have to do also is you want to make sure that the lower back is supported. You can put cushions, you can roll up a towel. This particular one I have here, this actually moves as you move around. So you just move back a bit there.
That's very clever.
Yeah, and so then the cushion or the towel won't fall out. But if you're going to have your back in that position, you also want to have it supported so the muscles don't have to work so hard.
And are they readily available?
Yes, they're readily available. You can go online, you'll find them.
Yeah, well, we'll put the links on our
Sure.
website so you know where to go.
Dr. Storm, what about treatments that you take, come to the doctor, get prescribed, buy over the counter?
Well, actually, an awful lot of things you can just buy over the counter. So things like simple painkillers, paracetamol. People underestimate just how effective paracetamol is, particularly if taken regularly. Anti-inflammatories, so that's not just a painkiller, it's looking to reduce the inflammation that's often associated.
Because I always worry about taking tablets for back pain, because I think, you sort of mask the pain and then you keep going, well, I'm just going to keep moving because now I can't feel it so much.
Well, you've got a point there in that if you've got no pain at all, are you going to then be putting your back under strain? But interestingly, we used to tell people to go to bed with bad backs, you know, just to rest your back completely. We don't do that now because we know that if you rest up too much, you lose the tone in your muscles and actually then you're more prone to back injury. So we encourage people to keep moving.
Right.
We also use heat and cold. So heat to improve blood flow to the area, to improve healing, and cold to reduce the inflammation. So a lot of those things you can do. But there are, you know, these are all available over the counter from your pharmacist. Great place to go for help, but there are some things that you really mustn't ignore.
Okay.
So if you've got back pain that's associated with a fever, if you're suddenly losing weight and you don't know why, if you've got a swelling in your back, if you've got loss of control of your bladder or an inability to pass urine or loss of control of your bowels, if you've got numbness around the genitals or buttocks, those sorts of things are really important that we don't ignore that. That must see a doctor and see a doctor urgently.
Go to a doctor immediately.